there, it is Sunday afternoon. It just turned afternoon, actually. And this morning I released a video on making this here, which I call my Super Deluxe version of the mini table saw sled. My mini table saw sled was a fairly popular thing. So I decided to upgrade it and add a stop block system to it, which I thought was very handy because, well, someone already pointed out, it doesn't use one of those T-track things that you have to go and buy, which I don't understand. I mean, if you're building stuff like this yourself, make the T-track yourself. Don't be spending money on that. Yeah, this is good. And I didn't show it in the video, but what I did after was I gave it 3 coats of water-based polyurethane to finish it off and make it nice and smooth and keep it clean because the other one was pretty dirty. And I guess you'll be seeing this a lot more in upcoming videos. Anyway, so that title that I gave the video is probably going to piss a few people off right off the bat. So maybe what I should do first is define what ignorant means, okay? Ignorant simply means, it doesn't mean stupid. It means that you don't understand something or you're not knowledgeable about something. And specifically, I'm talking about woodworking. I got a comment on, I think it was the last video on this channel, saying that, he watches, I can't remember the exact wording. My memory is shot for that kind of thing. Anyway, so basically it said that he watches so many videos of the same thing that, he doesn't see the point of watching another one. And, that's true to an extent. However, you have to look at the source where the actual video is coming from. I mean, and I'm not saying there's no value in this. There is value in this if the person acknowledges that they're a beginner and show the mistakes that they make along the way. Like if you're watching a build from a beginner, they're either going to be doing it the hard way sometimes, or they're going to be relying on what they've seen elsewhere from more experienced people, which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But what you're probably not going to be seeing is a truly innovative way of doing it. And that's the value when you're watching someone that's got a lot of experience building stuff. Like when I go about a project, I'm not just looking to do it, okay? Because I know that by the numbers how to do these things. What I'm looking for is interesting ways to do it or different ways to do it, not for the sake of doing it differently, but for the sake of maybe improving it, making it better. Like I got a good example here, and it has to do with my tips and tricks channel, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. But I was combing through a video I made not long ago on building a cabinet for my office. And unfortunately, because I consider this to be probably one of the best videos I've made ever, this video is really good, in my opinion, okay, my humble opinion. I've made lots of videos, but this one is right up there for quality. Not very many people have seen it, like 73,000. And I was looking through that video because I knew there were a lot of things in there that I did differently or things that could be made into helpful tips. So I went through the video and I came up with 10 things in that video that I can separate out into separate videos and put on my tips and tricks channel. So not all of those were groundbreaking or anything like that, but they show an interesting or a effective or an efficient way to do something that you're probably not going to be seeing somewhere else. And so when I say the ignorant viewers, I mean the viewers that really don't know the difference when they're watching something like that. I'm going to make a comparison here. Take your favorite sport, the one that you're really into, if you're into sports, or it could be anything else that you're really knowledgeable about. And imagine, if you will, someone else watching it that has absolutely no experience with that sport or activity, and watching a fantastic, amazing play. Like it knocks your socks off, but the other person watching it doesn't even understand what he's seeing. So that's the kind of thing there. It's like, okay, I don't know anything about American football. So you could be watching the football game and seeing some amazing, amazing thing going on, and it would just simply go over my head. You know, I see a bunch of guys running around chasing after a ball, wasting my time. Back when I was a kid, I used to be really unappreciative, I guess you could say, of a football game that ran long and interrupted a show that I was dying to watch. And sometimes cut off the first part of the show, like it did back then. I mean, we're talking 2 channels, over-the-air type TV, not what we have today. No internet, no YouTube, no 1,000 channels of this, that, and the other thing over cable. And I'm pretty sure I said this stuff before, but that's the value in watching somebody that's experienced, that's been doing this kind of thing for years. You're going to see things that you may never see if you're watching someone else. So yeah, let's get back to this tips and tricks channel thing again. I said I was going to kill that, not put content on there unless it was something special. And then almost immediately I made a video to go on there, and another video, which is making the insert for the miter saw. This is the cutout from it right here. I made that from solid wood. That was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I just decided to do it. And the big difference between that and, you know, the other videos I make on my main channel is that I didn't add a voiceover to it. I just filmed what I had, brought it in, and quickly edited. I think in about 20 minutes, I had the entire video edited and ready to go and uploaded and done and away with. Very much like the situation I have here. And so I got to thinking again, while I was doing something else, that maybe I should go through some of my older videos and pick out those places where I do something that could be made into a tip and just edit that section out of the video and post it as a separate video. And maybe possibly, I mean, if it depends upon if there's any explanation for it there or not, add a quick voiceover to it. And that way you'll get the tips from the longer videos without having to watch the longer videos, even though it would be nice if you did. But even if you do watch the longer video, the tip video is always handy there because it'll be appropriately named so you can easily find it. The other thing about the tips and tricks channel is that I changed the name from I Build It DIY Tips and Tricks to just Woodworking Tips and Tricks. And my thinking there is to try to divorce that channel a little bit from me and my main channel. Okay, because get people saying, well, why don't you put everything on the one channel? Why don't you put everything on the same channel? And it goes back to what I said before, where if you put a video that doesn't do well, that doesn't get a lot of views, on a channel that typically gets more views, it'll drag it down in a rating. And I talked about this rating that I think YouTube has. I'm not sure, I'm just guessing. And a lot of people said that, okay, it's algorithm, whatever. I don't see it as that, like that. I think there's an algorithm, there's a program that will sort videos by popularity and whatnot. But I think that every individual creator also has a ranking in their, you know, like almost like your credit score. So if you have a credit card and you pay it regularly, your credit score goes up type thing. And if you mess up and you don't make a payment, it drops by something. So that's what I think is happening with YouTube creators. If your so-called credit score, your YouTube score, I guess, is low, your videos are not going to be promoted. And there are several different factors, I think, that can drive your rating down. So you have people that have been making videos for years, and you can see that their numbers are gradually dropping over that time. I think that something is happening that is affecting that rating. I think that a big part of it, and I've said this before as well, that the number of subscribers that watch your video immediately after it comes out affects that number. I have people saying, well, what about channels like Primitive Technology that has, I don't know how many million subscribers it has, and they only put a video every month or 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. What happens there is that, okay, the video comes out, but a huge number of subscribers watch that video. His ranking is still very high with YouTube. Now, if he was to put out a bunch of videos that only got like 10,000 or 15,000 or 5,000 views, then that ranking would be pulled down. And then the subsequent videos that he put out wouldn't get as many views because, first of all, the subscribers wouldn't be notified to watch it. And second of all, it wouldn't be promoted as aggressively within YouTube itself to other people that aren't subscribers, because that's where the bulk of the views on these videos come from.
I'm Anita Horgarth.
Buck melanoma. Molly Russell's wart. Not her wart. Not her wart. I'm the wart. She's my tumor. My growth. My pimple. I'm Uncle Wart. Just old Buck Wart Russell. That's what they call me. Or melanoma head. They'll call me that.